So about a week ago, we were really doubting if the shoot was actually going to happen or not because of how the conditions were. Luckily, lake effect snow kicked in, it got cold again, and we started getting dumped on every day for about the last week and a half. Eventually, it built up to the point where it was awesome to ride.
This is meteorologist John D. with the snowfall report for the Upper Peninsula for February 11th and 12th. Snow's been falling hard and heavy all week, so we got some fresh powder out there for you boondockers. We've picked up about 18 to 24 inches of fresh powder. It's still coming down out there at a pretty decent clip. The forecast looks like we're going to pick up a little bit more snow Sunday into Monday, and then maybe again towards the tail end of next week. So now's the time to get up and hit the powder.
After a short ride north, we plan to drop our stuff off at Ben's Camp and head up to Michigan Tech's Winter Carnival. When we arrived, it was absolutely nuking, and broomball was just getting started. So we got some rinkside seats and took in some of the action. So Michigan Tech's Winter Carnival kicks off with their all-nighter. It's a snow sculpture building contest, but it's really just a celebration of winter in the Keweenaw. The snow sculptures that they do up at Michigan Tech are so elaborate. They use a variety of tools like chainsaws, axes, and hot irons to sculpt the snow. When you're visiting Houghton, be sure to get there in the daytime and check out the Houghton Lift Bridge. It's an iconic UP landmark that snowmobilers can use in the wintertime to access the Keweenaw Peninsula. They actually dropped the bridge and used one level specifically for snowmobiles. So we just got our fill at Winter Carnival. Now we're headed back to Ben's Camp to get a good night's sleep because tomorrow we're riding.
So day one's in the books. Today we got our first taste, the spot we call Sketchy Power Lines, and it definitely lives up to the name. When you go out there, it's amazing. There's so many different terrain options. You can do creek bashing, hill climbing, side hilling, anything. It's our first day riding with Mike Siebert, and we definitely found out that he has a knack for finding big jumps. So we definitely ripped up and had a lot of fun on the power lines today, but tomorrow we're going into a spot that we've been saving all year. And this is a place that not many ventured into.
To see more of our 2017 tour, A Nation of Riders, follow us on Instagram.
I work with Ice Age. The rails are completely bomb-proof. Really trust them. The great thing I like about Ice Age is the great customer service. You call your order shows up, and their products are just solid.
I like to do a lot of jumping and riding real aggressive, a lot of creek crossings, technical boondocking, and the bomber rails, they hold up.
Bent rails are the worst in the backcountry, and I mean, it ruins your day, so with the bomber rails, you don't have to worry about it.
I ride Ice Age.
Welcome to some of the most steep and technical terrain in the UP. This is one of our favorite spots we like to call Misery Creek.
We've been saving the spot all year long specifically for this shoot, so it was exactly what we expected. Super gnarly technical terrain.
That was crazy, Golly. What were you thinking?
That would be a nice line right up to that.
Been a wicked day, boys. You guys are crazy in the backcountry here, but what's next?
I think we should build a jump somewhere.
Agreed. Let's go find somewhere to send it.
Let's do it.
So I've been friends with Mike for like about a year now, and I've been wanting to ride with the guy, and being able to do that is pretty cool. The guy's really, really good on this sled, and just some of the stuff that he does is super gnarly. Even though there's not natural stuff out on the power lines that you can just jump, he's willing to throw a shovel in and build up a pretty gnarly jump so he can send it as far as he can.
How are we doing for ramp angle of attack here? Looks good.
Get the slopometers out.
You confident?
Louis are
Always.
Feeling it?
Always.
Remember, breathe through your eyelids.
So my favorite part of riding out there is, you know, it's just so crazy. You have to let it sit for quite a while before you can ride it till you get good snow, because there's trees across, there's stumps, there's open water. It's really gnarly stuff to ride. So you have to let it sit for a while so it gets, you know, the right amount of snow. There's some situations where I just don't even know how it's physically possible that sleds miss trees. Like one shot, for example, Jack's sled started rolling down the hill, rolled like twice, was headed right for a tree. Somehow, some way, it hit like one little weird different hump in the snow and just missed it, literally just missed it with the back end, went around it and rolled back up. I couldn't even believe that was possible. So as you can see, I'm sitting on the timber sled right now. I have not ridden it yet in the trees this year, so I'm super excited to do that. Plan on breaking it out tomorrow. It should be pretty wild.
If you want to follow our story, follow us on Instagram.
I got the Skins crew out here in Colorado, and I've been testing and working with Skins all year on some really cool products. Their new 37-inch front end, a new running board design. I think they've done a really good job in shock calibration, geometry, the new arc rear suspension setup. I think what's so important day after day riding in the backcountry is have your sled set up and customized for you. And all of those things have really made this sled excel in going through the snow.
Ben's Camp has really treated us well. They have everything you could ever ask for in a sled destination. It's a great place to stop with your family for lunch while hitting the trails in northern Wisconsin. It also puts you in range of some of the best backcountry riding in the Upper Peninsula. Every morning we left the beautiful Rest Haven cabin at Ben's Camp and took a short drive north to our favorite spots in the UP.
Time to go ride.
After we got the sleds gassed up, we headed to a local hotspot to chat with people about why they come to the Upper Peninsula to snowmobile and what it's like to ride here.
I started riding at 3 and I've been riding up here about 44 years. I know the UP very well.
Yeah. How have the trails been lately?
They're incredible, absolutely incredible. We had a little thaw about 2 weeks ago, but
Yep.
we're back to normal in the UP, that's for sure.
So what draws you to the UP every year?
Obviously the snow.
Yeah.
The snow and the trail system's incredible up here. Doesn't get any better than this.
That's for sure.
So when do snowmobilers typically start rolling in here?
Typically it's December 1st, as long as we have the snow to April 1st. The Mosquito is always known for fast service, good food, and a good time. We all like to have a good time here, and we like to make sure you guys have a good time too.
So why do you guys stop at the Mosquito? Do you come here a lot?
Every time we're here, the whole time we're here. Best owner, best staff, best food. Can't beat it. It's phenomenal.
Can't beat it.
I'm from Twin Cities, Minnesota. We heard that they were getting a bunch of snow up here this week, so we packed up the sleds and headed up here. They got about 3-4 feet. We got every single track basically Polaris makes, from the RMK 155 to I'm on a Rush 121, or 120 actually right here. Everyone's going backcountry riding. It's been a blast. There's logging roads like crazy. You can basically go anywhere you want unless it's posted. There's not very many places that you can just go off the trail riding like there is here. Whether you're from Wisconsin, Minnesota, craving snow, up here in Michigan, you can always count on they're getting nuked with snow. It's incredible. If you're looking for the place to ride, this is it, for sure.
So the UP is actually a pretty unique place. For the snowfall that they receive up here, you know, in a good winter, it could be in upwards of 250, 300 inches. So, I mean, for only being a couple-hour drive from where I live, that's pretty substantial snow to go riding in, which is awesome. Again, there is some pretty technical riding that you can find here. So there again, it's pretty cool that you don't have to go, you know, all the way out west or make a big trip when you can just come right up here to Michigan and find some very comparable riding.
I'm Dylan Rose, and this is Boondock Nation's Tech Tip of the Week. This week's Tech Tip is all about Boondocker turbos. No one really runs these things at low elevation with the turbos on them. I can only think of like 1 or 2 people off the top of my head. It was just kind of a learning curve. I decided to run it on 100 LL ab gas and then put like 80 grams of weight in it with the Bikeman adjustable weights. Sled ran good. A lot of turbos, you know, you're running 10 pounds of boost, it's just really hard to ride all day. This is 6 pounds of boost and it's super linear power. So if you're only 50% throttle, you're only 50% boost. So with the electronic boost controller, there's no tuning. You run the same weights. The boost just adjusts depending on what elevation you're at. You just bolt their kit on, they're clutching the turbo, and run it. The thing runs perfect. It's definitely as advertised. If you've ever ridden in the mountains before on a stock sled, you definitely need to hop on one of these and see what it's all about. There's not a bad day when you're riding this thing, that's for sure. This has been Boondock Nation's Tech Tip of the Week.
Follow us on social media during the commercial break.
Well, it's our last day riding here in the UP, so I figured I'd break up the snow bike. Right now, we're about to drop into Donkey. Looks pretty sick.
That is home.
You know, we ride pretty hard back home. I do most of my riding in my dreams though, because like I can land 400 footers. Nobody else can do that, not even in their dreams. But this real life stuff, nothing to it. I remember my uncle talking about the UP years ago. He told me how nice it was and how much it is very similar to Canada. It's just a different kind of laid-back feeling about it. Yeah, I'd definitely come back here in a heartbeat. I love this place, and we want to come back and ride with you guys, of course.
So where I live, it's about a 2-hour trip up here. The terrain for the most part is relatively the same. It's a lot of flat stuff, a lot of hardwood trees, but eventually you just reach a point and you can kind of just start to see the terrain and the elevation increase, and it's a pretty unique place to come up and do some riding. And you know, this week with the Boondock Nation Crew, we were able to ride some power lines and stuff and able to do a few tricks here and there, and it was overall it was a really fun week. It's been really cool being able to meet the guys from the Boondock Nation Crew and go out with them because we share very similar riding styles and aspects, and it's just been a really fun time to go out and explore with these guys, and we all kind of feed off of each other, and you know, one person might do this and that'll push the other person to do that. So overall it really just makes for a fun group of people to ride with and push your limits and just kind of progress your riding style. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this as much as we enjoyed riding in it. I'm Mike Siebert and this is Boondock Nation.